All right, guys, got Alan here. We will start with Gary. Hey, Gary, you ready?
I think he's muted.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Okay, how's that?
Here we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Alan, thank you for taking the time to do this. We appreciate you making yourself available.
Yeah, no problem.
After the game last night, Sean had talked about the need for maybe some changes, whether it's personnel, scheme, or whatever. I'm just wondering from a player's perspective, if you think some changes is needed, to get the offense going more consistently, or is it just a matter of kind of continuing what you guys have been trying to be doing?
Yeah, that's coach's call. I think ultimately what it comes down to is just training to make plays. When you go back and look at that game, in the second half, we got far too many third and longs in the crunch time. You having third and 15s, third and 17s, all those third and 10 pluses. It's hard to convert on those. It makes it extremely hard. So that's earlier down efficiency. That's many different things. So, but again, everything else is up to that's coach's call.
You had a couple catches in that game, some what looked like to be some pretty tough third down catches with some defenders draped across your body. You feel like you're finding more of a groove and finding more of a place in the offense?
Yeah, again, just trying to continue to make plays on my numbers call. And again, as cliche as that may be, that's whether if it's third down with somebody on me or having a few yards on somebody, whatever the case may be, it's about straining to make the play, and that's kind of how I look at it, and that's kind of how I go about it, and continuing to evaluate, after a game like yesterday, seeing things as I'm looking at the tape. Okay, what could I have done differently here? What could I have done differently there? Continue to try to improve myself. But but ultimately, again, just trying to continue to make plays. That's what it ultimately comes down to.
Thanks very much.
Yep.
Gilbert.
Hey, Alan, how do you guys get this vertical game, improved with you and Van? You guys are kind of the down the field guys. And also, how's Van doing? Because I know for him, it's been 2 games. He doesn't have a catch yet, but, how's he doing with this, this process to be incorporated back into the offense too?
Yeah, Van is always doing well, always in great spirits, but other than that, I think that's, questions for him. But again, just trying to continue to, like I said before, make the plays when our number is called, again, being able to, making sure that we're on the P's and Q's when it comes to, conceptually, where we need to be at and doing the things that we need to be able to do to execute, as far as, down the field, again, we all want, those down the field ops to come and to happen, to open everything up, but we got a couple, last game on Cooper had a seam and he had another one, so again, just trying to continue to, execute when those times are called.
And I just want to get your point of view as a player, but how tough is it that in that position that Cooper was, that the jet sweep to either go out of bounds or stay in bounds? How fast is it out there to make that right decision?
Yeah, it happens pretty quickly. Again, it happens very quickly. And I think that Cooper is one of those players, who always makes the right decision. And again, I'm whatever, it was bang bang yesterday, again, and kind of watching the tape, again, that was I thought he, made a good decision, again, hindsight is 20/20, on situations like that. But again, it's one of those things where, you trust your teammate, you trust the player's instinct, and it's not, many times that, his instinct isn't correct, and after watching it, yesterday, if he had tried to get another yard and then got knocked out of bounds, then we're talking about something totally different, So again, for him, trying to secure the clock to roll, I thought that was again, but it's bang bang, so.
Thank you, Alan.
Sarah.
Alan, in the locker room yesterday, saw you just kind of sitting quietly facing your locker. What was going through your head?
when you unfortunately come on the losing side of games like that, it's tough. It's tough just because, it's a player or two away. You start to just kind of reflect on the game as far as, kind of what happened in that game. Like I said before, I thought as we got later in that game, we got into a lot of, third and very tough, manageable situations. Again, we didn't give ourselves a shot in a lot of those situations, being in 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 17s, or 3rd and really any 10 pluses, and that's us having to execute on earlier downs, to be able to put ourselves in a manageable situation. I thought in the first half, even though we still could have executed a little bit better, I did think that we had some more manageable situations and we were able to convert a little bit better on 3rd down, but for us being able to, give ourselves a shot and keep drives going and keep drives moving, we definitely got to be better and more efficient on early downs.
What was Sean's message to you guys in the locker room after the game?
Just to, especially offensively, for us to look ourselves in the mirror, which I think is the truth. We gotta look ourselves in the mirror, dig down deep and find ways to execute, again, find ways to, strain and make plays, whether that's 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, whatever the case may be, is figuring out how to make those tough plays. Again, I mean, that's how games in this league is won. You got to make the tough ones.
Sean, I know this is your first year here, but under Sean, the Rams haven't been 2 games under 500. How have you seen him kind of, I guess, handle the adversity this season? And what have you learned about him as a coach?
Yeah, I think that, as a coach, he may not have, had that happen, before here, but, Coach McVay is a person, who can just kind of speak to different times that he's handled adversity, and it all kind of, translate, whether that's adversity in your regular life or, here during the season, it's all the same. It's about, being able to compartmentalize, different things that are going on, being able to hit the reset button, make the corrections, and keep swinging big. I think that's what it comes down to. Like I said before, it's about us just digging down deep, making sure that we're doing everything on our ends and more to be able to, turn the tide.
Thank you.
Nick?
Hey, Alan, just from your perspective, how would you assess the clock management, especially in the last 2 minutes of the 4th quarter yesterday against Tampa?
As far as what,
as far as how you guys were able to, obviously you guys put a plan together as far as offensive execution, but unfortunately you guys came up short with that. But how would you assess the clock management as far as you guys were able to manage the clock and be able to get that drive, trying to get that drive, I should say, moving forward?
Yeah, well, I think the main thing in those situations is that, you want to keep the clock running and make sure that the opposing team, uses their timeouts or, keep the clock running as much as you can, but obviously a 1st down in that situation wins the game, so for us, like I said before, as cliche as it may sound, by us being able to be a little more, efficient, getting possibly a couple, 4-yard gains or something like that, would make it a little bit easier, to be able to get that 1st down. Like I said before, that's across the board. That's everybody included. It's taking all 11 to be able to strain to get 10 yards. Because at the end of the day, 10 yards wins the game.
And also, too, you mentioned earlier about having the ability to be more efficient, especially on 3rd downs. What specifically do you feel like needs to be adjusted in order for you guys to be successful on those 3rd down conversions, to be able to keep drives alive and keep the the chains moving?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's about being in manageable situations. I think that when you look at any team, across the board, especially us, when we're in manageable situations, I think we do well with that. We have a lot of playmakers who are able to do that. But at the end of the day, what do you call on 3rd and 17s, 3rd and 19s, even 3rd and 13s, 12s, it's tough to be able to get a perfect call, in for those instances, so for us, staying ahead of the chains, being more efficient on 1st down, gives us a much better chance on 3rd down. We're getting into, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, really anything under, 3rd and 10s, like I said before, once you start to get into that 3rd and 10, world. There's so many different things, that can be thrown at you from a defensive standpoint. So I think, third down wise, it definitely starts on first and second down.
Thank you, Alan.
And we're back with Jordan.
Hey, Alan, thanks for doing this. Just wanted to kind of follow up on something Cooper talked about last night, which was you guys having to use a lot of get back on track plays, get back on track downs, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit today in your comments as well. But what does that do in terms of limiting the playbook and also kind of limiting your dimensionality when you're constantly having to be in get back on track downs?
Yeah, I definitely think it makes it tough. It kind of condenses the playbook down a little bit. When you're able to, again, stay efficient, you keep the playbook, entirely in front of you. And I think that's the goal, to make sure that you're keeping the defense off balance, So, but again, unfortunately, we have been in some of those, get back on track downs, So, but at the end of the day, even in those situations, we got to find ways to execute that, because again, we can't, go from a first down to, get back on track downs and then not having success with those. Now we're getting into third and longs, and if we keep ourselves in third and manageable again, which we did a little bit more in the first half, we gave ourselves much more of a chance to be able to convert on third downs and keep the chains moving.
And then Sean has talked about for years the run game setting up the passing game in this particular offense and in his system. So when you guys have not had a consistent run game, for various reasons since the beginning of the year, how has that limited or affected the passing game?
Well, I thought once Hendo was able to get a couple big runs yesterday, I thought, even I believe it was following the next drive, we was able to get a nice play pass completion, but it's when teams have to respect the run, have to respect coming downhill, on some of their zone coverages, you do start to get bigger voids and bigger gaps in the defense, like I said before, which helps all aspects of the game, So for us, again, that's all 11, that's us included on the outside straining, being able to figure out ways that we can, help get the run started, and help sustain runs and help some of the bigger runs. And that's, again, strain on the outside, even if we, some of the quick stuff we throw on the outside is, straining on those and being in good communication on those with, who's to block what and who's to go where, So at the end of the day, again, it takes all 11, but if we, as I've saw, even like dating back to the Arizona game, once Cam was able to get some of those long runs and some of those runs started, following up on the next drive, we're able to hit some play action, hit some boots and things like that, because teams have to respect it. They have to respect, all aspects of the offense.
Thanks very much, Alan.
Yeah, thank you.
All set. All right. Thank you.